Okay, I'm about to make a lot of people unhappy, but I'm not too worried about it because it's not my job to make you happy. You sort your own feelings out. The Supreme Court is rumored to be poised to overturn Roe V Wade, and I think this would be a fantastic turn of events. Mind you, it will not abolish abortion like the critics are saying. It will simply keep it from being federally approved. Abortion could still be available on a state level. Yes, it makes it easier to challenge those individual states, but I think that's a smart thing to do. Overturn it and challenge abortion. I personally think anyone that is willing to rip a child out of a womb, dismember it and destroy it, utterly destroy that life, has questionable morals, especially concerning that there are many options available to a person carrying a child in the womb, a woman. You can abstain. There is birth control. If you get pregnant, you can abandon the child at a police office, drop it off at the police station. You don't have to take it home from the hospital. Tell the doctors, I don't want the kid. You can put it up for adoption. There are many options, but I know murdering it in the womb seems to be the easiest for you. It's grotesque and wrong. I know people are going to say, but rape and incest, what about that? Well, let me ask you this. Anytime you kill a human being, you have to explain why to a judge or the police, court of law, whatever. If you kill someone in self-defense, they're going to ask questions, and you pretty much have to prove that you indeed used justifiable force, that you weren't in violation of someone else's rights. So how come you don't have to prove that you were raped or it's incest? Nope, a woman could just say, well, I was raped, and go get an abortion simply to be within the letter of the law. I don't believe killing children in the womb is ever an appropriate thing to do, especially when there are other options. So go ahead, fire it up. Let me know in the comment section how much of a jerk I am that I'm trying to argue that we need to preserve the life of children that are in the womb. Go ahead, tell me how I'm wrong. You're the one that wants to rip children out of the womb and destroy them. One final thought. What about a father that does not want that baby to be aborted, but a woman says, my body, my choice? There's just too many evil, horrible aspects to abortion. It needs to be outlawed. Okay, this is a question for all the my body, my choice supporters out there. Do you support crack mothers as passionately as you do mothers that just simply want to destroy the life that's inside their womb? Crack mothers routinely deliver children that are born gravely ill. They have deformations. Many of those little innocent babies, they die shortly after birth, after much suffering, sometimes during birth. But yet, they're prosecuted, rightfully so, because it's morally wrong to introduce dangerous drugs into the human body, knowing that the risks are so profound. Yet, that's exactly what an abortionist does. Maybe they'll do the old mechanical way of sucking out the child and dismembering it in parts and vacuuming it away like it's just debris. Both the crack mother and the abortion mother are doing the exact same thing. Introducing crack and hard drugs into a pregnant woman. Very damaging, but there's at least a slight chance or a reasonable chance that the child could survive. Abortion, on the other hand, it is extremely unlikely that a baby will survive abortion. Both things are wrong. Yet, I would be more sympathetic to the crack mother because at least she's fighting against something that is beyond her control. It's a disease, an addiction that warrants sympathy. But the woman that just simply wants to have an abortion because that life in her womb is inconvenient, that is even more grotesque and unexcusable. So I'd like to know, How can you say my body, my choice without thinking that a crack or heroin or meth mother is perfectly within her rights? You should applaud her for making her choices, even though it harms the baby. At least if you're logical, right? You know, that's why the whole pro-choice, my body, my choice movement is so dangerous. I say outlaw abortion, penalize people that criminally treat their babies in utero, drug addiction and such. Let's try to preserve these young unborn lives. Thanks for watching. Okay, let me offer this in closing. While there are plenty of sound, philosophical, medical, political arguments that pretty much convince people that abortion is indeed wrong, the most important argument is the spiritual one. It is absolutely wrong to murder children in the womb. It is life. Now, you may not believe in the God of the Bible, but let me assure you, He is sovereign. He is everyone's God. There is only one. We will all stand before Christ at the day of judgment. And believe me, while we're all bad, none of us are good. We all have a huge long list of sins, unfortunately, to our credit. But there's sins that we did. There are some you can opt to not do. And the murder of children in the womb seems like a good one to avoid. There is right and wrong. You know, let me prove to you this. Let's say we decided that we're going to allow abortion, but a mother had to manually do the abortion herself. Let's say they came up with a medical way that she could actually insert the wand, look at the camera, and dissect the baby in the womb and extract it from her body. How many women do you think would actively engage in that? I think most women would recoil in horror and say, I don't want to do that. Is there something you could do that's like less messy? You see, we don't want to get our hands dirty. You know, what if the law was you had to wring your baby's neck right as it came out of the birth canal? Horrific, right? But don't act like it's something that's beyond what humans can do. We do horrific things all the time. People used to sacrifice their children to the gods of Molech and such. The early Bible days. Humans have a capacity for extreme hatred and violence. And all I'm offering is that God, the creator of life, would want us to show tenderness to life that He creates, in conjunction with humans providing the biological material at its very beginning, at its most tender and needy state. Why can't we nurture that and allow it to become life and put our own wicked desires away? That's how selfish we've become as a society, that we're eager to completely and utterly destroy life in the womb, even though it displeases our Heavenly Father. But it's easy just to pretend that God doesn't exist. Let the doctor do it. Pretend that it's just medical health care. We could just totally stick our head in the sand and pretend nothing's wrong. That's extremely immature and pretty much just wicked and evil. So let's be better. Serve Christ. Trust Him with your life. And don't abort babies. God bless.